Hello, Bravo-holics. Welcome back to Bravo and Blaze, a place where pop culture, Bravo TV, and cannabis collide in the most unhinged but necessary way. I'm your host, Jenny Blaze, and today we are bravoing and blazing through all the mess, drama, and quote-unquote news that came out of the Bravo universe this week. So roll up, tune in, and let's get into it. Just a quick reminder, everything shared on this show is based on personal opinions, commentary, and publicly available information. This is entertainment only, not investigative journalism, so take everything with a grain of salt and maybe a gummy. Be cool, stay chill, and don't be all like uncool. Right, Luann? Luann is sporting my Meredith Marks bangs. She's so jelly. Just kidding. But before we begin, I want to remind you all to follow at Bravo and Blaze on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Jenny Blaze. Join our Patreon for bonus episodes, deep dives, and unfiltered tea at patreon.com/Bravo and Blaze. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter at bravoandblaze.com. I have a big announcement. Dun, 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 dun. We have a major announcement. Like Brittany Bateman. I have an announcement. Our Bravo and Blaze signature lighters are officially live. That's right. You can get your own Bravo and Blaze lighter. Tap the link in the show notes to grab yours now. This is our launch edition drop, limited quantity, no restocks, luxe packaging, and free shipping included. They're already moving, so if you want one, don't wait. If you're listening on audio, please leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It is the freest way to help support podcasters. If you're watching live on YouTube, hop into our live chat. I'll be pulling in your comments and hot takes throughout the show. Okay, before we get into Bravo, I need to talk about some other things that I watched this week. So if you are running out of Bravo content, this is what you can go to. First, I did watch White Lotus. During my pause in March, I caught up on all of the seasons, all 3 seasons of the White Lotus on Max. And the reason why I did that was so that I could correlate Southern Charm, because it was going around that Mike White told one of the actors or all of the actors, I think, that was originally the rumor. He told them to go watch Southern Charm for inspiration on their character. So I'm like, all right, I'm sold, because there was so much hype around it. I really wasn't interested. I don't know. There's like some shows that I just am kind of turned off by the hype. For example, like Game of Thrones. I did watch a little bit, but I couldn't get into it as much as other people. And I don't hate this show, The White Lotus, but I also don't love it. My unpopular opinions are on my latest post on Patreon, so you can go check it out there if you want. Also, I saw the dad on Radio Andy, and he was saying he didn't watch Southern Charm. And so now I feel bamboozled, because that's one of the reasons I started watching, like I said. And I actually have a clip of it. Where is it? Like, I'm kind of annoyed about this.
Not watch or base anything on anybody from Southern Charm.
Yes.
That's the end of that conversation.
Okay.
Sorry. I did not watch.
He said he did not watch or base anything.
Or base anything on anybody from Southern Charm.
Yes.
That's the end.
Well, wah wah. That is a big letdown. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? I can't even find my slides. Here we go. Yeah. So that's The White Lotus. I'm moving on. Next up on Netflix, is Golden Greed, The Hunt for Fenn's Treasure. I did not think I was going to get into this at all, but I found it to be fascinating, exciting, sexy and unique, just kidding, but also heartbreaking. It's like it took me on a whole roller coaster of emotions. And it's only 3 episodes, so I highly recommend if you're just like, let me watch something real quick. I consider that real quick. It's better than binging a whole season of something, but it's a 3-episode documentary. Basically, this old guy, Fenn, he thought he was going to die, so he hid an actual treasure chest with gold, jewelry, precious gems, and other things that were like estimated totaling like over $1 million. Some were saying like over 3 million. The guy wound up not dying, but the treasure was still out there and people were actively trying to find it, like making it their full-time job and hunting every single day for this treasure. That part right there is already pretty exciting, right? And like enough for me to be like, okay, I need to know everything about these people and about this treasure. Where is it? But as we watch it, it's like it's kind of a tragedy as well as being very interesting, because during the hunt, I think there were 5 people who wound up dying looking for the treasure. So that led to a lot of controversy over this treasure hunt, because the guy, Fenn, who hid it, he was still alive and going on like the Today Show, giving hints, like, but was very vague. And sometimes they weren't real hints. And it was like maddening to these people who were putting like everything into their whole lives into looking for this treasure. So the thing though is like, he was like literally kind of toying with them. But anyway, someone found it, and this is not a spoiler because that's known right away. But what's crazy is that someone who was looking for it, they re-hid the treasure, and it's literally out there right now for anyone to find. And the guy who hid it, he's like super smart, by the way. He's like a software engineer. He also created like some program that was doing like facial recognition to decipher when Fenn was lying and when he was telling the truth based on his, whatever they say in body language, or whatever body language experts say. And he did wind up finding where the treasure was originally hidden. And he's one who hid it. He wound up hiding clues in the 3 episodes of this Netflix documentary. It's kind of insane. I was like, wait, what now? I had to go back and watch. And I'm like, my brain is racing, right? So kind of crazy. I got into it for a minute. I had like gold fever or whatever. Because there's this really amazing snake bracelet in the treasure that I just want to hold. I just want to try it on. It probably would look hideous on me, but it looks so beautiful and like, oh, I just want to see it in person. But anyways, I'm going to show you. Look, I started going through and like finding clues. I'm like, he said specifically that he planted all the clues in his scenes. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this clock, that was a big deal. He's got like, how many screens here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens on his desk. And they all have like pictures of different locations. That's got to be a clue, right? I also noticed this one mug sitting right here. But then later on, hold on, I'm going to skip. Oh, it's not. Maybe I didn't include it. But later on, there's 2 mugs sitting on the desk. I'm like, what does that mean? Also, they have a shot of him moving the clock. That obviously is a clue. He says, fortune and glory. He was being vague in some of the answers that from the questions that the producers were asking him. I'm like, oh my God, I can see why people get hooked on this. like fortune and glory means something. I just know it. Also, they show him like writing in a journal. There's a book that he's holding underneath the journal. I couldn't read the title of that book, but I feel like that's a clue. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was going down a hole. But then they showed this shot of him at a, what is this called? Like a workbench with tools and stuff. I was like, this is too much for me. I am not into this. I don't like it. And then they show him like scrolling. There's a whole other background. He's got pictures on his desk and a map. Like, I just, from watching this documentary, I know that every single thing that he put in there is intentional. And I was like, I cannot go down this rabbit hole because it's literally like a full-time job. So I am a fan, but I'm not like dying for this. And I am highly interested in anyone pursuing this. DM me if you're into it. So anyways, let me move on. Hi, Princess Francois. Don't forget, we have a live chat. Okay, let me move on to Bad Influence. Oh my God, I was like staying up late just to watch the full thing. I didn't know that I was going to be into this show that much, but this show essentially, or documentary, sorry, it's on Netflix. It's 3 episodes, and it left me unsettled because this mother, I think her name is Tiffany, has this daughter Piper who started like going on TV on this like TV show, and also was doing like social media stuff, but it was YouTube that really skyrocketed everything. And she's getting like brand deals. She even started her own like, not a hype house, but like her own crew. And I find these things fascinating because from my background and what I'm interested in is like the technology behind everything and how humans interact with technology. And I found it fascinating that this woman, Tiffany, she knew that if she found this guy who knew, he figured out how to optimize things on YouTube. And that is all dependent on like the titles that you use, your thumbnails, what time of day you post, all these different things, right? And he like cracked the code, and it was like second nature to him. So she recruited him, made him pretend that he was her daughter's older brother, but really he was like her 19-year-old secret boyfriend. And he wound up like moving in, and they're doing all these videos. They're growing. They're getting millions of views. They're recruiting other kid influencers, and to a point where they started living together with some of them. But things got like pretty dark because the mom started crossing the line with the children. And also, I mean, this is all alleged. I don't know this. None of this is fact. I'm just going based off of what I watched, but it looked like they were insinuating that she was doing unsavory things with the children and also the finances. So all the kids and their parents who didn't understand what was going on, like behind the scenes, like the business behind it, and then also the technology behind it, they thought they were just like letting their kids play, and like making YouTube videos was like a fun thing to do, and not really even thinking about the monetization of it. So they all got out of this because things were toxic apparently, and the kids didn't even like doing the videos at one point anymore. And it just reminded me of Ruby Frank. She has a documentary. I forgot where that's on. It might be Hulu, or it might even be on Netflix. But it also reminded me of this other documentary, Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. I think I talked about this because I was so disturbed. The only difference really between the Dancing for the Devil situation and the Bad Influence situation is, I think the Dancing for the Devil situation is more around they're abusing religion to manipulate and control these people, whereas like in Bad Influence, it's more of just taking advantage of ignorance, I guess. Like these kids don't really know what they're signing up for. They just are excited and happy, and their parents are thinking this is like a play date that just went way out of control. But anyways, I found that to be very interesting, so you can go check that out on Netflix. Let's move on to pop culture. I know we're like 15 minutes in already, and I haven't even touched Bravo yet, but I need to discuss Onijah Robinson. The Shade Room, big ups to them because they found Nidel. That was like the missing piece for me. I'm like, one, I was worried about Onijah. She was in Dubai for like a whole month, and Nidel explains the logistics of what went down with Onijah from Pakistan to Dubai to New York, his version. And like at first I'm like, I'm taking all of what he's saying as truth, quote unquote truth. But then I started to question things like kind of towards the end. So I'll just walk through the highlights of what went down in the Shade Room interview with Nidel Ahmed. So first off, Nidel said that him and Onijah have been in a relationship for 2 to 2.5 years. They are in love. This is a love story, I think. Also, they asked, so did you know Onijah was going to visit you in Pakistan? And according to Nidel, he said Onijah decided by herself to visit Pakistan. I'm dying. I kind of felt like that was the case. So that wasn't like huge news, but who knows? Maybe he told her to come. I still like, we need them to sit down together. We need a full-blown real talk interview with both of them at the same time, or maybe just a reality show. I would definitely watch. So then remember Onijah, the story or the version of Onijah's story that we knew before talking to Nidel was that Nidel and his parents did not approve of their marriage, so they fled. I heard they fled the country. Nidel is saying that's not the case at all. They were going to the market with Onijah. She was staying in a hotel that whole time, that 3 months. But then when the media hype started happening, he said that his parents got sick. Both his parents got sick and were in the hospital. And so he had to tend to them. And that's where I'm like, I need to know a little bit more. But I was shocked. He was like, yeah, they would go to the store together. Onijah talks to my mom and my sister. This is like a full-blown relationship. And this is coming from Nidel, so I believe they are in a relationship. And then also they were showing, the Shade Room showed some clips of Onijah FaceTiming Nidel. He said they talk, like they FaceTime every day. And the way they met, because this was an important question for me, I wanted to know, how did they even connect in the first place? I'm thinking, I don't know, Candy Crush. I really had no idea. But he said, and remember, he was a minor when they met. He was only like 17. He said he had a job where he was doing cold calls. So he cold called Onijah Robinson for his work. And now they're in a full-blown relationship. Like, what? They then ask Nidel. Or I don't know if they asked. They were just like, Onijah said you guys are married. And Nidel said he doesn't know anything about that. This is where I'm like, okay, I don't know. I was believing Nidel because he admitted, yes, I love her and we're in a relationship. I thought from that point on, we're going to hear nothing but truth. But now I'm like, what is going on here? Why is she insisting and saying that they're married? And he's like, I don't know what she's talking about. Something's up. Something is up. Something is not right. They asked Nidel, what do you love most about Onijah? And he said her confidence. Even though I'm like doubting him at this point, when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, he loves her. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. Nidel also said they have projects that are in the works. And I'm just thinking, wow, this is a power couple in the making. Onijah's on the ground, boots on the ground in Brooklyn. She's been posting everywhere, getting glam done, doing photo shoots. Like, she is living her best life. I love this for them, but also I need to know the truth, the details, because this cannot just be like, okay, now you guys are famous because you pulled this like crazy stunt. What is happening? But what does famous even mean? I mean, they're famous to me. I love them. They are international. Bitch, I'm worldwide, okay? She is Queen of Pakistan. Her face is on a bag of chips. Show some respect. Oh my gosh. Okay. We gotta move on. We are hitting Bravo now, 22 minutes in. All right, first thing up is I'm going to talk about the Valley a little bit. I got this from Bravo, Brit. And the headline, I don't know exactly where this came from. Looks like it's cut from like Entertainment News or something. But the headline is, the Valley star Brittany Cartwright's bar, Brit's WeHo, canceled and not opening months after her exciting announcement. The reality star's dream plans to open up down the street from Vanderpump Rules bars Sir and Tom Tom have been halted. This was posted on April 4th. Honestly, I forgot about Brittany's bar. What about you all? Also, more Brittany news. Brittany is circulating a lot. I saw this on Real Moms of Bravo. Brittany Cartwright reveals son Cruz 3 was diagnosed with autism 6 months ago. And in quotes, it says, I'm his voice now. Exclusive. This is from People. I just think Brittany is a great mom, and I think we're going to see all of this unfold on the Valley. Well, I don't know, actually. If he was diagnosed 6 months ago, they had already wrapped filming. So maybe she's not going to talk about this. But there's always season 3. What else? The Valley van. I'm just going to play a short clip of this.
Which is, where are we going?
To the Valley.
Let's go.
Okay, so we talked about this, or we mentioned it last week. They had 10 content creators. The Talk of Shame, our girl Kiki was there. They had them join the cast of The Valley, and 2 traders. It was Chriselle and Danielle Reyes. And they just like were doing Q&A in this like this minivan. So you can go check that out. Let's see. Let's move on to Potomac. And I'm going through all the stuff that's not in our Bravo TV lineup currently. And I got this from Bravo OMG. It's Ashley Darby singing Killing Me Softly on Fox 5 News, like morning talk shows. And Ashley, I love you, but please. I have a little bit. I'm going to play a little clip.
I felt all flush with fever, embarrassed by the crowd.
Okay. I get it. Oh my gosh. Bravo, OMG said she has the confidence of Beyonce with the vocal ability of JoJo Siwa. Bless her heart. Oh, Ashley. Let's see some more drag king performances. I'm here for that. Also from Bravo, OMG. Potomac is scheduled to start filming this month, and since Karen is now inmate number 13974, I don't know if that's really her inmate number, rumors have been swirling that Candace is making her return after a one-season break. She posted this today. Watch out, Guzzle. Looks like Candy Gal is back. I guess there's, it's a picture of Candace in front of NBC Universal TV and streaming. Candace, her caption said, always a treat and a pleasure when I get to see my NBC Universal, she tagged them, fam. Me and these thick thighs had a time. What? Thick thighs? Is that a clue to something? What is that? I'm still in treasure hunt mode. I might rewatch that this weekend, actually. What do you all think about Candace returning? I personally would love that. And if it means that we get the cameras rolling right now, then let's go. Because pausing for Karen Huger being in jail is foolish. Absolutely absurd and ridiculous. I don't know who's in charge, but you need to know we need filming right now. Get a camera on Ray, particularly. I want to know about Ray. I want to know what he's up to, how he's feeling. Is he doing good? Is he having a good time? Or maybe he's sad. Is he going to visit Karen like every day? Is she asking for room service? I need to know all of these things. All right. We are going to talk about Atlanta in our lineup, but before we get to that, I just want to give a shout out to Candy Burris. So I saw this on Waymaker Culture, and it says, as if her resume wasn't already impressive enough, Candy Burris has officially produced the top grossing Broadway play of all time. Yay! I don't care if you like Candy or not. That is amazing. You go, girl. I think I want to go see it. Who has seen it? What do you think? Should I go see it? Is Candy in it? Candy's not in it. Is there anyone in it that we know? There's like big names in it, right? Anyways, let's move on. Oh my God. Real Housewives of Orange County. They're currently filming. Bravo and Cocktails posted this. And it's a picture of Alexis, aka Jesus Jugs, wearing a bride crown. So she's on her bachelorette. Said, saw Alex out to dinner in Scottsdale tonight for her bachelorette trip. So rude. I was waiting in line at the hostess stand and she just walked herself to the front without a care for anyone else waiting. Ooh, I am not surprised. You're psychotic, Jesus Jugs. One thing about Alexis, though, Jesus Jugs is always on brand. Like, she doesn't change. She's always been wacky, delusional. Oh my God. Remember that time she cut the dress that woman made for her? Oh my gosh. She's wild. What's up, Thick Member 94? Okay. Also, I am so mad at Virtual Reality Pod. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you all, but they posted a picture. Jesus Jugs is wearing like only panties. She's trying on dresses, I guess, and holding a sign that says Modern Bride, Arizona. Like, nobody wants this. I actually feel kind of nauseous. I'm going to switch this quickly. But before I'll go to the last slide. Before I move on from OC, Another thing I heard, which I didn't look into, I just like briefly saw it and was like, I don't believe this. So I just kept scrolling. But I did see someone posted saying Katie Janela, our Korean queen housewife, she allegedly quit filming the show. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? But then I didn't see much about it. And then I saw something posted again later on saying like, that's not true. So I don't know what's going on. Don't forget Tamra early in filming was like, she made a whole announcement. I'm done. There's more important things in life. I feel like Katie wouldn't do something like that. But where did this rumor come from? There's got to be some kind of like misunderstanding that developed into that rumor, I feel like. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. All right, moving on to Southern Charm. I thought this was so hilarious. This is from It's a Bravo World. Austin says someone impersonated him on Cameo. I didn't look into this one deep either, and I'm saying the word deep because I guess he's claiming that somebody created deep fakes of Austin. So it's not like a lookalike. It's somebody using like AI or something to make money off of Austin's likeness on Cameo. And I think that is wrong. I do not condone that, but it is hilarious that somebody is doing that. Why did they pick Austin Kroll? Of all people? That is so funny. If anyone has more information on that, please feel free to send it. I think that is so funny. Another thing around Southern Charm that I thought was odd this week, because it also ties into Summer House, JT from Southern Charm apparently has a podcast. I didn't know this, or maybe just a YouTube channel, but he has JT and Friends, in quotes, episode 3. So I'm assuming there's an episode 1 and 2 at least. But then he wrote an honest discussion about all of it with good friend and Summer House alumni, Everett Scott Weston. And in this clip, they are like, how do we know each other? Random. I don't know. Weird. I didn't watch it. But I did watch the trailer for this next show we're going to talk about. We all thought it was going to be named Making It in Manhattan, but apparently this new show on Bravo is called Next Gen NYC. And I haven't really thought about the name. I don't really care. I just feel incredibly old from looking at all of these people. They're like very young. They're brand new adults. Gia Giudice is on here. Brooks Marks is on here. Well, he's actually, how old is Brooks Marks? What's her name? Bria? No, not Bria. Ariana? Whatever Kim Zolciak's daughter's name is. She's on here. Candy Burris's daughter. They showed Meredith Marks showing up. Teresa showed up. Who else? Did we see Kim Zolciak? I don't remember or recall, but even though I feel old, I'm going to watch this. We'll see how it does. But I think it would be funny for one, Next Gen NYC could do crossovers with old Roni and new Roni, even though we don't know what the future of Roni is right now. But there's a lot of opportunity for crossovers, especially with Teresa, Meredith, Kim Zolciak, Candy. You have 4 different housewives and their children. So we will see. What do you all think of Next Gen NYC? Oh my gosh, thick member. Thank you. I don't look old. You're too kind. Okay. Of course, I love a compliment. Oh, by the way, Next Gen NYC, it airs or premieres on June 3rd on Bravo. Okay, we're 35 minutes in and we still haven't gotten to the lineup, but the lineup is kind of light this week. And I'm okay with that because I feel like we need to wrap some of these up and I'm ready for new, fresh shows like The Valley, Next Gen, Love Hotel. What else do we have coming? I don't know, but we will talk about what's going on right now. First up, we have The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we're on season 16, episode 5, About Last Night. The episode description is Brit realizes she may have crossed the line and plans to make amends with Kenya. Meanwhile, Angela is surprised to learn about a blow-up within her own family. Kenya gears up for the grand opening of her hair spa, an event that promises to deliver a few surprises of its own. Okay, we all know this is the big event. We were waiting for this. What episode is this? Episode 5. Oh my gosh, I'm sad because we're not going to see Kenya anymore after this. But this episode was pretty packed. Right off the bat, we have Shamia has Angela and Brit over. And I had a question about this because so the whole Shamia and Angela thing, she wanted to apologize to Angela. She was body shaming her over her nose on the last, I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before that, but they were able to handle it and move on and just like throw things under water under the bridge. So I'm like, wow, that is really cool. And this is why I love Shamia too. Like she knew she crossed the line. She apologized. She invited Angela over. But then when Brit came over, I'm like, wait a minute. And you have to remember, I only started getting back onto Atlanta during COVID. I haven't watched the old seasons, like the OG seasons from beginning. Like I haven't binged that. I need to. I know. I'm naughty. I just like in this moment though, I'm like, is Shamia not friends with Kenya? Because I feel like inviting Brit over is kind of like not a dig to Kenya, but it's kind of like paying her dust, to use her own words. Like they clearly had this, I don't want to say altercation, but they had this incident the prior week where at Angela's event, Brittany threatened Kenya with a pistol. And so for Shamia to invite her over and welcome her, it felt like, wow, is she not Team Kenya? But then she was saying to Brit, like, yeah, you need to fix this because it's a little much. Also, Brit came in right away, was like, that was wrong of me. I shouldn't have done that. And she kept saying, like, I would never want to threaten someone. But, like, just because you said you would never want to doesn't mean you didn't. Like, you actually did, and we saw it on video. So for her to say, like, I never threatened anyone, I don't have a gun, and blah, 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 it's like, well, you said you do. So what is it? And why did this happen? How did we get here? And this is where, again, what are the rules? What are the obligations and responsibilities of production? Because I feel like if you are employed by Bravo or whatever the production team is, and you see a threat like that, are you obligated to report that? Because I feel like I would. What do you all think? I saw, we saw this on the episode, but Bravo by Gaze posted that last shot where Bravo said, based on Kenya's behavior, the decision was made to cease filming with her this season. I didn't even get to that part yet. I'm still, wow. Okay, I'm talking in circles. So we get to, after that first opening scene, we then see Portia at Kenya's salon. They're like picking out models. Kelly joins them. I thought things were going to be smoothed out. even though, and I'm not condoning Brit's threats, and I'm also not condoning Kenya's actions, but I do think like things were they were mishandled along the way, and I blame production, I think. That's who I blame. Okay, so let's move on. Angela and her daughter, that was a lot. Angela was on the screen a lot this last episode, and it was very interesting. Angela has a 24-year-old daughter, Amari, and Amari's father was murdered in Chicago when Amari was only 7 years old. That broke my heart. I was like, what? And then they just like kept it moving. I'm like, wait a minute. Can we cut back? Like, that's serious murder. But also, Amari, I guess, well, Angela said that she bought a house for her mom and her sister to live at so she could take care of them. And then Amari went to go stay with them and I guess went to go drive the car that Angela provided for them and wound up getting into a fight with the grandmother and Amari's grandmother and Amari's aunt, saying like she needs to pay or something like that. And Amari's like, I'm always like contributing and like, Mom, you provide everything. And I guess they got in a fight over that. And the aunt called Amari a demon. And the grandma like didn't say anything. So now there's this like tension within the family between Angela and her mother and sister, obviously, because she said very clearly, I'm always going to be on your side to her daughter. And I love that. So let's fast forward to Kenya's spa opening. She had a really cool hair contest. I've never seen a hair contest like that before. And I'm really bummed that we're not going to be able to see any of that from Kenya anymore. But for all the other women, take note because I would like to see that going forward. Also, Kenya's salon or spa, I don't know if she calls it a salon and a spa, but it looks beautiful. And I feel bad. Like Kenya always, from what I've seen, and I haven't seen everything from the beginning, but I feel like Kenya always shows, I don't want to say always, but what I've seen, Kenya shows a very vulnerable side to herself. And then when she's put in social situations, anything will set her off, where if you even hint at having an issue, she will take you down and go low. And I root for Kenya because I see her vulnerability and knowing she's got her daughter and everything. Like, I want to root for her. But what happened at this grand opening was unfortunate. And I wish Kenya never did this. Or at least, like, not at this event, at the very least. Anyways, okay, so we see Brit and Kelly arrive to Kenya's event together. By the way, I was very taken aback and like very interested in Kelly's SUV van, whatever. It looked like one of those moving offices that Scott Disick tried out before. And I love it. Like, did she just rent that or does she own that? And who is driving? Does she have a full-time driver? And is her security her driver? And also, was her security in the front seat? I need to know all this information because Kelly, I'm here for Kelly. She's pulling me in. And I'm not saying like I'm a stan yet. I just am very intrigued by her and I want to know more. Anyways, so Kelly and Brit go to the grand opening and they knew like this could be hostile. We don't know, like, but they're taking a chance and they show up. Brit was not escorted out or anything like that. She also brought flowers for Kenya as a way to, apologize and I think that's a nice thing to do. Kenya was not having it. Brit brought it up to Kenya and she gave it to her, said, like, I just want to let you know I'm really sorry. And she gave everything she did, I think was the proper thing to do. Granted, she shouldn't have even threatened with a gun in the first place. So I can't be I can't say Kenya, you should have just accepted that. I'm not saying that either. I just wish that maybe Kenya ignored her and left it at that. Because as soon as Kenya ignored Brit left. She was like, okay, I'm going to leave now. And I feel like we could have handled this later on in the season. But Kenya used that moment. That was the trigger for her, which I wonder if Brit didn't show up, would Kenya have shown the poster boards? And if you didn't watch, I'm sure you did, but the poster boards showed explicit photos of Brit. And there's some debate about where those photos were obtained from, because I heard a few different things. I heard that, one, she may have been underage in those pictures. That is way crossing the line. That is criminal. I don't know if that's true, but that is really bad. Then I also heard this is from she used to be a cam girl, and this is from her subscription content or whatever. So if that's the case, then as a content creator, that is Brit's property, and Kenya's not allowed to reproduce and show everyone. So Brit could say something about that, but then I don't know. I don't even know what the pictures look like. Bravo didn't show them. I actually don't want to see them. At first I was like, wait, what are they? But now I'm like, we shouldn't. And I am so sorry if you can hear the landscaping going on in the background. I feel like they're right outside my window right now, and I want to go out there and just yell at them. That would be rude of me. They're just doing their job. Oh my God. Max is here. Can you tell me if you can hear that? It's bothering me. Anyways, Max is here, everyone. Yay! Max said there's a time and a place. Kenya should only focus on the grand opening. Agreed. Kelly is a housewife we wanted. Yes. Orange Blossom is here. That salon was top 10 beautiful moments before disaster. Agreed. Oh my God. People started leaving. I think it was Kelly was the first one to start leaving. I think she was like, oh no, I'm not going to stay here for this. And Brit was right outside still. So she was her ride. So I guess that made sense. That was convenient. Portia was not happy. She was pissed. Orange Blossom said, I heard about that as well. If what Portia said about the photos is true, this has divulged into an ugly mess this season. Was so fun at first too. I agree. What is going on? Max said, I want to see the pics. And Portia is always messy. Big ups to Cynthia. She is Kenya's friend. We know this. And she went up to Kenya at the end, was like, I think you're bigger than this. Kenya's like, I am. She's like, okay, well, congratulations. And I wish you the best. And I'll talk to you later. And she exits with grace. So go Cynthia. But I wonder, how is Kenya feeling about it right now? And has she regretted it since it happened? I wonder. Well, turns out Kenya posted this. Oh my God, the landscapers. They just turned it up. They're like, "Rrrr." Okay. So Kenya posted this, I think yesterday. It's a picture of Kenya. It says confessionals in my words. YouTube. What? I can't see this. It's too, my eyes are going bad. Oh my God. Can you guys hear the landscapers? Oh, okay. I got it. It says youtube.com/official Kenya Moore. Tuesday, April 15th, the same day as the Valley premiere. Subscribe now. Submit your questions below. Only subscriber questions will be answered. And then it says in her caption, my confessionals, my way. Have a lot I want to say. Subscribe now to be notified when it drops. Drop your questions below. Like I said already, only subscribers' questions will be read and chance for a live chat. Oh, she's going to do live chat? That is interesting. Wait, what time does this start? Max said, I heard Kenya hates Andy. I can see that. Princess Francois said, no, I don't hear the landscapers on my phone. Thank you. Orange Blossom said, not Kenya posting an AI photo. She has 5 fingers too. What? Hold on. I can't. It's too small for me to see. Is that AI? I have to move it to my other screen. That's why I'm looking this way. Is it? I don't know. You know what? I'm not mad at her. It's YouTube. I might start doing that. Okay. Let's move on. So that's April 15th. I don't know what time, but you can go check it out on Kenya's YouTube. Also, after that, Portia posted, and I don't know, I don't follow all of their stuff on social media for this show. Like some shows I follow like as much as I can. This show, I'm just watching this show on Bravo. And watching like their main feed from Instagram or Twitter or whatever. But I didn't know that Portia has a YouTube channel, and apparently she posted this after
the housewife still on the show right now who gave Kenya that nude information. No, I'm going to expose that. Everybody needs to know who she is.
Everyone needs to know who she is. I think, I don't want to play this whole thing, but I think she's talking about Angela. Who do you guys think it is? And I watched back after I saw this announcement because I'm like, now I need to go see Angela's behavior around this. And I don't know. I didn't dig into it, but you guys tell me if anyone does look into it. Max said Brit is going to be on Watch What Happens Live on Sunday. Ooh, that'll be a good one, I think. Okay. Let's move on to Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 18, Reunion Part 3. The episode description is, the reunion concludes as Greg and King finally face off. Simone and Quad attempt a fragile truce. Heavenly offers Contessa an olive branch, but can their friendships be saved? Greg dodges accountability with Quad, pushing the group to the edge. Just when things reach a breaking point, Greg stuns everyone with a surprise musical debut. I will be honest, I could not get into this last part of the reunion. I wasn't really paying attention. The only thing that stunned me was when Dr. G started singing. And the reason why I think it's so bizarre is because why is he singing this song? How is this healing to him? Is it about Quad? I really haven't paid attention to the lyrics, but I'm like, what is going on? Max said, Dr. Greg singing Set Me Free. Oh my gosh, Dr. G. I don't really have much to say about this episode. Heavenly did kind of apologize. Did she give a full apology? I think she apologized to Contessa. Was like, I see how us fighting, how it affects the rest of the group after seeing Quad and Simone fighting during part 2 of the reunion. She's like, I just want to apologize. I don't want to do that to our friends and la la la. So we'll see. I haven't been following Heavenly's activity online since the show stopped filming or during. So who knows at this point. But I have old interviews with Dr. Contessa and Dr. Simone on my YouTube channel and the podcast. You can go check those out. They're not about this season, but just wanted to let you know in case you wanted more. Okay, I'm going to move on to Below Deck Down Under. I actually already talked about this episode, and I did a bonus episode because I got a luxury, a luxury PR package from Bravo and Below Deck Bravo. And I could not feel more like a primary charter guest. I was wearing my robe. Hold on. I'll show you a little clip from that episode.
Here, a little bit more talking. This boat will sink. I promise you. So please, don't fucking talk to me. And that's when he punches the cabinet and he's just like losing his mind.
That's Johnny that I'm talking about. Did you guys all watch? This season really didn't capture me until this week's episode, and that is one of the reasons why I did a bonus episode. But also I got that insane PR package. So go check out that episode. I'll read the episode description anyways. So this was season 3, episode 10, A Greek Tragedy. Tensions boil over when a crew member stirs chaos among the team. Their behavior tests loyalties and patience. Truly a tragedy. It was nuts. But oh my gosh. Since that episode and since my bonus episode, the first 7 minutes of the next episode of Below Deck Down Under has dropped, and I won't spoil anything, but beware if you stumble across them because there are spoilers floating around, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. And to be honest, I barely knew the crew's name or the crew's names before this episode, but now I'm fully checked in. And I have to say, this week's Below Deck Down Under was probably the highlight of Bravo this week. And I swear it's not just because I got that amazing gift box. With that said, no amount of free luxury will ever stop me from admitting that Captain Jason still gives me the creeps. I have a cookie of his face. I might eat it tonight, we'll see. But these vibes that I'm getting, like, it's not based on anything specific. I just get this witchy vibe. There's nothing about this as fact. It's just a feeling. That's all I will say. Let's move on. Okay, we're moving on to, and I wrote out, I love this gif right now, right? By the way, the guy who's shocked, he's like, oh. Johnny said, if I hear a little bit more talking, the boat is going to sink. I promise you. So please, don't effing talk to me. Oh my God, that was wild episode. Poor Harry. They made Harry cry. Okay, Beverly Hills. We're on season 14, episode 19, reunion part 2. Is this did I get this right? Hold up. I don't even know. Well, I'll just read. I couldn't pay attention. I'm sorry, this reunion, all Beverly Hills reunions are boring to me. And actually, I'm just going to skip it. Whatever. Like, nothing really exciting to me happened. And I don't even like this show. I really don't. But something wild happened this week. I'll just play a little bit of this clip. Okay. I just played a quick audio sound of Brandi Glanville's new music video. I don't know what that's all about. Did anyone know this was happening? I had no idea. But I'm glad she's working as well, because Max just said that in the comments. Another video I want to show you. I saw this first on Bravo vs. Everybody, but then I recorded this off of him. So this is Kyle Richards. There's really no audio to listen to, but it's Kyle Richards. And if you look in the very beginning of this, it looks like Kyle might be harassing this woman. I don't know, but the woman is not happy. She like throws off her shawl or whatever is around her shoulders. She's got like 3 dogs with her, and she starts coming at Kyle, who's holding the camera. Teddy's with her. Kyle's like hiding behind Teddy, hiding behind someone else. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I kind of feel like Kyle could have beat her up too. This lady doesn't look like she's a match for Kyle Richards. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? That's wild. Oh my gosh. Let's move on. So sick of Beverly Hills. Let's wrap it up. All right. Speaking of wrapping things up, we got the season finale of Denise Richards' Wild Things. It was season 1, episode 8, The Family That Photo Shoots Together. The episode description is no stranger to the red carpet. Denise finds herself on one to support her friend Garcelle Beauvais' movie premiere. Later, Denise is excited to do a magazine shoot with all of her daughters, but it's not just Sammy and Lola's contentious relationship with each other that puts the shoot at risk. Again, I'll be honest, I couldn't get into this episode, and I wasn't really paying attention. However, I think this was a good first season. I would be down to watch a second season of this. What do you all think? Going back to the Kyle video, Max said, Kyle's not having a good year. Princess Francois said, not Kyle hiding behind Teddy. No, seriously, like, that video is nuts. Does anyone have anything to say about Denise Richards? I really don't have anything to say other than bring on season 2. I'm here for it. But Charlie needs to be on it more. That's my only thing. All right, let's move on to Summer House. Summer House, season 9, episode 9, Breaking Bread. The episode description is Jesse hosts a dinner for the house. Lindsay confronts Carl about his new love interest with surprising results. Paige's anxiety reaches a breaking point. Okay, so Jesse has a Shabbat dinner, and at this dinner, he says nobody can have phones, and Lindsay takes this opportunity after Carl announces that he went on a date with that lemur girl, and he's happy to announce that he's going to continue dating other people. And then his deal breaker, I guess, or whatever that was so cringe to him was that she brought him a lemon and said, you know, it's a metaphor for you to make lemonade out of lemons. And he's like, that was just so cringe. And like rolling my eyes. Carl, really? That's cringe? Don't get me started, because I could list a lot of things Carl does that is super cringe, like the CQ board. Don't even. But since this rumor was going around, and this is not true information, but it got back to Lindsay that allegedly lemur girl slid into Carl's DMs while Carl was still engaged to Lindsay. She's like so pissed about this. And I'm sorry, but like I get Lindsay, so whenever she gets activated, I don't get scared or like I start laughing. I'm like, oh, here she goes. It's kind of funny to me and highly entertaining. But she's like, I heard that you were talking to her while we were still engaged. And she's just getting fired up. Carl, bless his heart, he actually handled that really well. He was very calm. He answered all her questions. And we already knew before this episode started that it wasn't true anyways, because Lemur Girl posted receipts before the episode aired. So I'm like, that's why maybe I think it's funny. But I also get Lindsay. The part that I get about her is that I don't think she, and I said this before the season aired, I said, Lindsay's going to go into this season and not give a shit about Carl. Like, she is in pregnant mode and like doesn't care at all. Carl, I think, is going to be affected the most. And I really don't think it's a healthy environment for him at all. And I was right. Except for this, people are saying like, oh my God, why does she care so much? I get her. Like, it's not about Carl. It's not about her having feelings for Carl. Like, she would want to be with him right now. It's just, I am very particular about the details of people's integrity as well. And if that was true and I was Lindsay, I'd be like, oh, you have a zero right to act like, oh my God, I can't go inside this house and I'm a victim and blah, blah, blah. And like, that's where I get Lindsay's point. And also I think it's funny because Lindsay she will get activated for whatever her point is that she believes in. And the way that Carl had to go get his phone, he showed her the receipts and she's like, okay. It was over. But Carl is the one who's like, oh my God, Lindsay's obsessed with me. And I just don't think that's true. I really don't. Oh my gosh, let me see. What do I have here? Okay, before this episode aired, wait, do I want to get into Jesse Solomon yet? Let's see. Is there anything about Carl and Lindsay? I do want to mention the Bravo investigator. Hold on. Let me go to that slide. Okay. This hit me hard because I didn't tweet about this, but as I was watching this episode, I was thinking the same exact thing. So the Bravo investigator posted, I think when Carl breaks down, it's not just about the death of his brother, but the death of his friendship with Lindsay is hitting him in that moment. 100% agree. She was the first person he went to when he got the news. It was her birthday. She had been there for all the anniversaries since. They planted a tree together. Carl's brother's death is deeply tied up in Lindsay. She was his support for this, and now she's not. And I think he's mourning his friend who is literally right there, but not there at all. I could not agree with this more. And before Carl like had his grieving moment, I already thought about this because Lindsay was like, oh, my birthday's tomorrow, whatever. And right away, I'm like, oh my God, Lindsay's birthday. Like that, I have that connected in my brain. Lindsay's birthday is connected to the death of Carl's brother in my mind. So imagine Carl, who has experienced all this trauma, has been battling addiction issues, and my heart does break for Carl. Like, I don't hate on Carl. I just sometimes I hate on him a little bit. Like, I like to tease him, but I really feel empathetic for Carl because I do feel like Lindsay was the person who he leaned on during these times, and he has to basically learn how to cope from scratch. But it's even harder because Lindsay's right there in front of him. And I think he knew that before they broke up. And I think that's why it took so long for them to break up, because I think Carl knew that if I break off this engagement, that means the friendship of Lindsay and Carl is over, at least short term. And that is a huge hit to Carl. And this is why I'm like aggressive about it, but I really don't think Carl should be here. Like I think he's stuck here because of his financial situation. And I just wish Carl would play his health and healing before the show. However, I don't think he can financially. Or maybe if he can, he is scared to do it. I don't know what the reason is, but I wish he wouldn't. Like he's gone through so much. I just wish he would remove himself from this environment because I don't think it's a healthy way. I don't think it's a healthy environment, period. There's so many things wrong with this, but whatever, he stays. But yeah, I thought he handled Lindsay really well. He even like jabbed at her when she's like, you have poor judgment and character. He's like, yeah, clearly I was engaged to you. He didn't say that explicitly, but oh my gosh, Carl. Okay, so before I move on to Jesse Solomon, I want to give my hot take on this Carl situation. My hot take is everything is Kyle Cook's fault. Not literally, but in this situation, because I feel like if he hadn't said Cocaine Carl on camera and told everyone Carl forgot his laptop because of drugs, maybe Carl could have landed a regular job, stepped away from all of this, and focused on healing. And when I posted this, in my mind, I'm thinking like, I didn't think like this was an intentional plan from Kyle, but somebody commented that they think that this was intentional, and that like kind of blew my mind. I'm like, no, that is demonic. Is Kyle Cook capable of intentionally doing this to his quote unquote friend, Carl? Also, I don't blame Carl for wanting Kyle to be his flower boy. And shame on Kyle. I think as punishment, Kyle should dress up like a flower boy on an episode of Summer House. And yeah, I'm going to keep blaming him for the rest of the season. And I hope he cries about it on next season. I hope he cries about it in a confessional, not in the car, because we know crying in the car is his favorite place to cry. And Max and I are throwing all his DJ equipment in the pool. Figuratively, not literally. Goodbye, other Kyle. Max said. Oh my gosh, I love you, Max. You're hilarious. Okay, let's see. We went through this. Okay, now I want to back up to talk about Mr. Jesse Solomon. Ugh. I have to crank my neck when I say his name because he pisses me off. Okay, before I watched the episode, it just came to me. I don't know what prompted me to have this feeling, but I was like, I have to tweet this. I feel like Jesse Solomon saw the attention Wes got last season from hooking up with Sierra and went after Lexi to get the same attention at any cost intentionally. Intent is very important behind all of these decisions, like Kyle Cook, and whether or not he intentionally trapped Carl into Loverboy. And did Jesse intentionally decide to target Lexi and make her his quote-unquote girlfriend, whatever they are? And also, what's exclusive without being boyfriend-girlfriend? Like, what are you talking about? I'm so confused. What generation is she? Z? Please don't be Alpha. Oh no. I have Gen Z and Gen Alpha children, by the way. Okay. Not that that's important, but I think it's funny. Anyways, so Jesse, Solomon. Boo! I don't like you, Jesse Solomon. But after last week's episode, I posted a clip from the after show about Jesse getting his toe sucked. And my heading over that clip was, why did he even go in the room? ? Exclamation point. And Imral liked my reel. That could mean nothing. That could mean nothing. But it could mean something. And if it means something, does that mean Imral didn't know that Jesse was going to enter the room? Like, at what point did Imral... I feel like Imral should have been like, dude, get out. This is inappropriate. Unless that rumor about them like plotting this before they came to the house, if that's true, then this makes sense. But why didn't Imral say, dude, get the fuck out? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. I just don't understand why Jesse even went in there. It's so creepy and weird. And I haven't done a threesome, but if I did and someone walked in the room and it was like another girl and a guy that I'm with, I would expect the guy at least to be like, excuse yourself, get the fuck out of here. And if the guy didn't, I would probably look at the other female and be like, are you going to say something or am I? Like, what the fuck? Max said Jesse was curious. I don't care. That is way too far. That is so inappropriate. It's like, there's no etiquette. Come on, dude. Oh my gosh. That's why I think Jesse is just a creep. And what he's doing to Lexi is messed up. But then also to add to his creepiness, so I saw this picture on comments by Bravo. Jesse Solomon posted a picture of him and Paige. Paige is like holding Jesse's hand. And Jesse wrote, thanks for having us, Wes. Also, Paige and I are ready to take our relationship public. Love you, my sweet Petunia. Shut TFU. Try not to swear as much. But then Paige commented and said, this is how rumors start. Wes wrote, HR violation. Kyle Cook wrote, messy Jesse strikes again. I don't think this is funny. I think it's cheesy, lame. It's thirsty. He's seeking attention. And I think because he was jealous of West. And that's why he's acting like this season. I think he wishes he hooked up with Sierra the way that West did last season. Because West got so much attention from that. And Jesse, and don't forget, they started at the same time. So like, if you want to think of attention as your currency, Jesse's probably like, well, why does West have all this attention, but not me? And then he goes and starts doing all this crazy stuff. It's giving Jax Taylor energy, and I'm just not here for it at all. Princess Francois is on board with me. Lame, so junior high. Seriously, oh, God, he bothers me. He bothers me. I feel like he smells. I feel like his feet are really gross. Ugh. What else? I talked about the hot take. Okay, let's talk about Paige. Paige is crushing life right now. And I'm not a giggler. Like, I don't listen to her podcasts. I'm not one of those people who's like, how dare you speak about Paige in that way? However, I do have like this weird, like blind loyalty towards people who grow up around me or are from the same hometown, which is so stupid, but it does something, right? Like if you're like, when there's some kind of common ground, it's just like, oh, I kind of have a little bit of a favor towards you. But that doesn't mean I'm like, somebody said I was obsessed with Paige. And I was like, actually, that is not the case at all. Like I love things about Paige, but then there's things I don't love about Paige. But also, it's very scary to say what you don't like about Paige because the gigglers will come after you. So that's whenever I see someone say something negative on their social media accounts, I'm like, oh my God, you're so brave to post something negative about Paige. But anyways, this is not negative. I got this from the Bravo Investigator on Instagram, and Paige was on the New York Times, or in the New York Times. It says Paige's Sorbo, New York Times. Did I put in? Oh, I didn't put the rest of it. But I didn't read the whole thing. I just read like a little part of it. And she said she had a job at like a local news station, and her plan, or what was laid out for her after graduating college, was you could stay local near your mom, work at this TV station, work your way up to anchor and have a family and have babies and live happily ever after. And Paige was like, that's not for me. Even though, like, I think on paper it makes sense, she knew she didn't want to. And so she asked her parents to pay for 6 months of rent or something for her to move to New York City. And she got a job, I think, at another news station in the city. And that's when she found Summer House and started going on Summer House. And it's all blown up from there. Another thing, she was in the New York Times. She had a Tresemme commercial recently. Also, I saw this on Bravo by Gaze. Hannah and Paige were on Jimmy Fallon. That is a huge deal. Like, and I want to give Paige her props, because if you look at her podcasts separately, independently from everything else that they've done, they really have had such great success, and they really don't talk about it that much on the show. And I was just thinking about Kyle, like, Summer House is essentially one big commercial for Loverboy, right? And I remember Amanda saying in a confessional once, she's like, I thought entrepreneurs like start a business and they build it, and 4 years later they sell it and move on to their next thing. She's like, it's been more than 4 years and we're still here. So I also wonder, like, what is Kyle's end goal? Because now he's DJing, okay? So, like, what is his end goal with his life? Like, he says he wants to be a family man and all this stuff, but how do you do that when you are up in the club, in the DJ booth, handing out lover boys till 4 a.m., 5 a.m.? Like, no judgment, but judgment. If that's what you want to do, fine, but don't act like you're going to be some kind of family man with your wife. Can you even be a family man while DJing in the clubs? What is Kyle's end goal? Does he want to be the CEO of Goldman Sachs and have 250,000 Spotify listeners? The real CEO of Goldman Sachs is a real DJ and has 250,000 Spotify followers. And I think that is so awesome. And I'm sure Kyle is jealous. He's gotta be. But I really want to know. You guys tell me. What do you think? What is Kyle's end goal? I don't get it. Anyways, okay. Is that it for Summer House? Oh my gosh. I have so many things to watch or catch up on this weekend, because I think on Monday, I don't know. I think it's Hollywood Demons is the name of the show on Investigation Discovery, the ID channel, my second favorite channel. They have an episode about the Housewives. I got to see it. They showed Nene. Who else did they show? I think they showed Vicky. I don't know. very excited to see that. And then also, like I said, we have the Valley premiere April 15th, which is the same day that Kenya's doing her YouTube. And I don't know what time that is, but I need to find out. What else? Oh, and I think I'm going to binge the Valley season 1 this weekend. What else? Is there anything else we need to watch? It was so weird that Top Chef was the only new thing on Bravo on Thursday night. But it was like kind of a nice break because I don't watch Top Chef. I'm sorry, nothing against Top Chef, but I'm not going to watch. I don't watch cooking shows ever because if I watch a cooking show, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat unnecessarily, and that is not what I want to do. But also, like, I don't know. It's like so odd that Top Chef is on Bravo. Why? Is it really the same demographic? Does anyone watch Top Chef? I am not going to watch Top Chef. I'm on an all-carb diet. Just kidding. But all right. I want to thank you all for hanging out here at Bravo and Blaze. If you love today's chaos, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It helps more than you know. If you want the full visual experience, head to Jenny Blaze on YouTube and hit the like button. Drop a comment and keep the Bravo conversation going. If you're craving even more, sorry, I'm a little bit sick today. If you're craving even more, join the Inner Circle on Patreon for exclusive content. Snag your Bravo and Blaze signature lighter while they last. I don't know if I'm going to be showing these next week, so get yours now. And follow everywhere at Bravo and Blaze on social media for daily drama, memes, and mayhem. Until next time, keep it cute, keep it messy, and most importantly, stay lit. Well.